Infected by Martin Sargent Special Animal Lovers Edition is brought to you by Purina's Mighty Dog. There's a mighty spirit that's waiting to be fed.
Go get it, Buttons. Get it, Buttons. I want my puppy to grow up big and strong. That's why I feed him Mighty Dog. It's the balanced, nutrient-rich diet your dog needs to be healthy and happy. No, Buttons. Ow! Buttons down, boy! Ow! 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 Mom! Buttons bit off my other pinky finger!
Buttons. Bad dog. Buttons give. Buttons drop it.
Mighty Dog. There's a mighty spirit waiting to be fed. We rolling? Okay. Gator here. Hey, this is a Gator. And a lot of you have been emailing into the show asking how I got the name Gator. Well, there's a story behind that name. And since tonight's show is all about animals, we figured it'd be a good time to go ahead and tell you why I'm called the Gator. And here it is. It's a quick story. I was in a John boat one time in Florida out on Lake Okeechobee in Clewiston, Florida, and I was collecting freshwater mussels. And I had a few in me. I admit it, I had a few in me. And I got hit by a wave or something. I don't really remember, but next thing I know, I was in the water. I went over the side of that boat. And as soon as I hit, I noticed there was a big old flat-nosed, nasty-looking gator, and he come right up on me. And I think he wanted to eat me. He was going to drag me down, stuff me under a log. Of course, I had other plans then. I had that mussel rake, and I just brained that fucker with it as hard as I could. I hit him so damn hard, I bet he wished he never came up on the gator. And what happened was, he was still kind of struggling a little bit, and I just pulled this little Gerber mini-mag knife I used to keep in my boot, and I just opened him up. I gutted that bastard, and he just come open like a sack full of wet river mud. And he was deader than hell. So I just threw him up on the John boat, and I dragged him back and put him in the back of my truck. And I went over to this bar I used to drink at called the, what was that place called? The Dixie Shooter. And I pulled in that parking lot, dusty old parking lot. There's a bunch of kids over there who used to hang out in the parking lot. They used to fight like little bastards, man. They just sat over there and fought. And those kids came running around there looking at that gator, and they were all excited and whatnot. And I was going to take him in there and try to trade him for some drinks or something. But I figured, what the hell? I'm going to give these kids, I gave them all a gator tooth. I lined them up, and I gave them, each one of them kids a gator tooth. And they ran off in the bushes, and I went in the bar, go on and get drunk, and end of story. But no, this is what happened. It was about 10 years later, I was working at Applebee's as a dishwasher, and that night I had a few in me as well, and I got in a fight back there, and I got fired. It wasn't the first time I've been fired, probably not going to be the last time I got fired, but I got fired from that job, and I was walking back to my truck, and this dude come up on me in this alley, and I spun around on him. I said, what do you want? He said, give me your money. And he had this little nickel-plated shitty revolver pointed at me, and I said, I don't have any money, man. And right then I noticed around his neck he had this gold chain with a gator tooth on it. I said, where'd you get that gator tooth? And he said, this dude gave it to me. What's it to you? He gave it to me about 10 years ago in the parking lot of the Dixie Shooter. I said, that was me, man. And he said, oh my God, it was you. And he gave me a big hug, and he said his name was Cherokee. And me and Cherokee became friends right then. We went out on about a 4-day drunk, and we used to drive around all around the South together. And Cherokee played a banjo, and we did all kinds of shit together, and we became fast friends. And he started calling me the Gator. And ever since then, it stuck, and everybody called me Gator. And, we're still friends. Oh, Cherokee's in jail now. He's up on a rape charge, but we're still friends. And I think it was probably the reason he remembered me so well, because the first time anybody ever gave that boy anything in his life for free. So there's a moral here, and the moral is, there's a little act of kindness can go a long way, and it might save your life one time, and it might even get you a nickname, a mean-sounding nickname that sounds cool like the Gator, and I like it. And that's the story, and now it's about time we start this animal show. What'd you say? Let's start the damn show.
Infected.
Hello and welcome to Infected, the petting zoo of digital culture. If that petting zoo had an angry goat that bites lots of children and causes parents to try to get the petting zoo shut down through lawsuits and angry letter writing campaigns and shit. I'm Internet's Martin Sargent. And talk about a zoo, I got one sitting around the filthy kitchen table of Casa del Sarge tonight. Joey and the Gator, what it is, fellas?
What's up, Martin? How you doing, buddy?
Doing all right, Gator. Joey, how about you?
Fantastic, sir.
Joey, Gator, everyone out there in Sarge Land, you guys all know that you cannot have an internet without animals. I don't just mean the one-eyed cat and ugliest dog in the world internet, though those two little scamps are a whole lot of fun. I like those guys. See, Though very few animals know how to use internet, scientists estimate internet would be approximately half its current size if animals did not exist.
How much of that is like animal porn?
Well, we'll get to that, but according to Nielsen net ratings, websites devoted to people's cats, for example, comprise greater than 37% of all web pages in existence.
People love their cats.
They do. They're very devoted to them. And did you know, Gator, that during the internet boom a few years ago, the website catoftheday.com was valued at over $4 billion on the NASDAQ market?
You know, that is news to me, Martin. That's an amazing figure. $4 billion?
$4 billion. This was a crazy time, 97, 98 to 99.
Could have funded the Iraq war with that. That's how you get...
Well, listen, given these facts, we thought it appropriate that being that we are a show about the internet, that we devote an entire episode to animals. All kinds of animals. Cute animals, scary animals, diseased animals, even half human, half animal hybrids like they have over there in Korea. Now, Gator, you got any pets? Do you ever have any pets? You an animal lover?
You know, I've had pets my whole life. The first pet I ever had was I got myself a little pony named Magic.
Yeah?
He was a beautiful animal. It was a little Shetland. But my dad sold him to... my dad didn't like animals very much, and he ended up selling he sold Magic to these gypsies that came through. And
Really?
Yeah, it was kind of bad. I'll never forget watching that bastard gypsy hitch Magic up to his wagon and just start flogging him. I swear, I think he just flogged him, and I watched him till there was a little speck on the horizon. I think I saw Magic cry.
What the fuck, man?
He was a fine animal. Anyway, I don't know, man. I don't like to think about that too much, but...
Yeah, I like animals.
Joey, I remember JoeyTheIntern.com. You had the splash page on there was this goofy looking dog that looked like it had like this. It was fully erect, I guess. The red crayon was coming out. What the hell was that all about, man?
The big red rocket.
That was your dog on there?
Yeah,
his lipstick.
He didn't do too well. He lived until the age of about 16.
Did you used to? Was it like humping your leg or something? You took that picture.
It didn't have the energy to hump anymore. All he did was walk around with a fucking permaboner. It was nasty.
You should have put that dog. My dad would have put that dog down.
Wait, the dog. It didn't have the energy to, but it had a permanent. What?
Its penis stopped lubricating itself. The vet told us to get a little squirt gun and shoot it in the penis a couple times with some water every time we caught him by with its permaboner. But I mean,
this is a terrible animal stuff. I asked you guys for pet stories. I got a pony getting whipped by gyppies. I got a little dog that you got to lubricate with a squirt bottle.
That makes me sick.
I had a nice cat named Stuffy. It may have bit me and nipped me every once in a while, but Jesus, guys.
There's no call to shame an animal like that, Joey, with a squirt gun.
But could Joey be any more bird-like? Speaking of animals, I mean, you ever see a baby vulture? That's what Joey looks like. It's a little baby vulture. That's Joey for you right there.
I've seen Joey stick his whole head into the rib cage of a dead cow and just start eating away.
You know those cattle mutilations that they find? No mystery, no aliens. That's Joey. He's got this little beak that comes out of his mouth like Alien. It's this whole proboscis comes out of his mouth, and
If you pull Joey's hair back, he doesn't have any ears.
Anyway, so now we've established that nearly half of the internet is about animals. But what is that remaining 50% of the internet? Well, what's that all about? Well, the remainder of the internet is comprised largely of hardcore libido-licking pornography, and this is where things get a little tricky for all you parents out there in Sarge world who are listening to the Sargecast right now, especially when it's so easy to mistake fun sites about animals that your kids might be interested in clicking around on in bestiality sites. Now, I didn't realize how serious, Gator, this problem was until I was reading, the Smoking Gun. I was reading the Smoking Gun website yesterday, and they had this document posted up there, that listed all the porn movies that were banned from crossing the border from our wholesome land of mom and apple pie into their snowy wasteland of liberal filth. For example, though the porn film Pigs at the Trough is perfectly legal here in the US of A, it is illegal to import that movie, Pigs in the Trough, to Canada.
You're telling me, man. I think I got caught at the border a couple times.
Well, you should. That is good legislation, because clearly Pigs in the Trough, beyond being morally questionable, because it features young women having sex with pigs in a barnyard setting, it might be mistaken for a delightful children's yarn about little piggies eating their suppers. You can see how you can make that mistake, right?
You know, pigs will eat meat. They'll eat a man. If you fall asleep in a pig pen, they'll eat you alive.
That happens. That happened to...
They're smart animals, too.
Yeah, you get a drunk on and you fall into a pig pen. They don't know the difference.
More than a few people have been eaten. I knew a few people. My cousin Ray got his whole foot eaten off by a pig.
Just the foot, huh?
It was a hell of a story. He woke up, tried to run out of there, and he peg-legging it, and he fell and knocked his teeth out on the fence. It was a goddamn mess.
So anyway, I thought, given all this confusion, as a public service, I'd give a little quiz here on the Sargecast to teach you how to tell a bestiality porn movie from a children's book. Now, all of the videos that I mentioned in this quiz were banned from entering Canada in the last quarter of 2005. I saw the documents up on thesmokinggun.com. And all the children's books that I'm going to mention are new releases on Amazon.com that are available right now. Okay, so Joey, Gator, you guys take the quiz. And you people at home, you take the quiz too.
Okay.
So I'm gonna name a title, and you're gonna have to tell me whether it's a bestiality film or a children's a book. You ready?
Sure.
All right. Okay. The first title is Schoolgirl's Dog. Schoolgirl's Dog. Is that a porno or a children? Joe, you say porno? You said that pretty quickly, as if it's in your library.
I'm going to say porno as well, because I don't want my kids reading anything with the word schoolgirl in it. I've been around. I know what that's code.
No, you guys are good. Schoolgirl's Dog is, in fact, a hardcore porn movie. All right, you got that. 1 for 1. Ding, ding, ding. All right, the next title is A Pony to Love. A Pony to Love. Porno or children's book? Go ahead.
Children's book.
I'm going to say, just because I don't like to think of ponies anymore after what happened with my pony Magic, I'm going to say that's a porno. Pony to Love. Porno.
Gator says porno. Joey says it's a children's book. Joey, the master of pornography, obviously, is 2 for 2. He's got that one. Joey, you like the bestiality? You into that? Let's see if you go 3 for 3 with the next title. The next title is 10 Cows to Texas. 10 Cows to Texas. Porno or children's book? Go ahead.
I think that's a movie with Chuck Norris in it.
A children's book.
Joey says children's book. Joey has gotten them all right so far.
Well, I'm going to say porno.
Well, you're right. I just told you that Joey got it right.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh, I guess I could have been interpreted both ways. Yeah, that 10 Cows to Texas is a children's book. All right, let's see if we can get a couple more here. The next title is Mr. Horsecock. Is Mr. Horsecock a porno or a children's book? What do you guys think?
Porno.
Porno?
I used to read my daughter that. It's a pop-up book about a talking horse named Mr. Horsecock.
That may be. You may have read your daughter that, but it is, according to this document on Smoking Gun, Mr. Horsecock is a porno that has been banned from entering Canada.
Come on.
So Joey, you're 4 for 4. Let's do. We got 2 more. Next, Animal Sex 2. Carrie Down's First Dog Encounter. Is that a porno or a children's book?
I think I'm gonna go first here. I think that's a porno.
Joey?
I'm pretty sure porno.
That is a porno. Good one. And finally, Pregnant Dog Fucker. Is that a porno or a children's book?
Is that a real thing?
Yeah, these are all real. Pregnant Dog Fucker. What do you think?
Oh, that is a classic.
I think that won one. That's a children's book. I believe it won one of those Newbery Awards, actually.
Wonderful animation in that book.
Gold seal on it with a Newbery Award.
Just a delicate little touch with.
I remember when my librarian in 3rd grade, Mrs. Villeneuve, used to read it. Like, and then the Pregnant Dog Fucker. Now that's a porno. So Joey went 6 for 6 on the bestiality or children's book game, which is very scary because it means he knows about bestiality and he knows a little bit too much about children's books. Anyway, I hope that was helpful out there for everyone. You might want to play that game with your kids to help keep them safe when they're online, because kids, they really don't want to see that kind of smut, and there's actually really a lot of sick bastards out there who really don't care about the moral welfare of your children. And I say good for Canada for banning titles like This Little Piggy Went to Porno and Animal Passion 3, Chubby Dog Fucker. that could so easily be mistaken for wholesome youth entertainment.
You know, I used to have a dog named Molasses, but my dad took him out in the yard and shot him. He said he needed to be put down, but Molasses is only 3 years old. I don't know why he shot him.
Jesus. All right.
I had another pony too named Dancer that my dad shot.
Stop,
Said he was unruly. Anyway.
All right, yeah. Anyway, Joey needs to be let outside to poo, and Gator needs to follow him around with a plastic bag to clean up after him. We'll be right back, everyone.
Infected by Martin Sargent Special Animal Lovers Edition is brought to you by Mighty Dog, because there's a mighty spirit waiting to be fed.
Button, put down the minivan.
Terry, I think Buttons might be getting a little too big for us to handle.
Mom, no. Buttons is just healthy because we feed him Mighty Dog, the dog food with 100% of the vitamins your dog needs to grow up happy and healthy.
Oh my god, he's coming right at us! Terry, get your sister and go in the basement now!
Mighty Dog, there's a mighty spirit waiting to be fed.
Infected.
Welcome back to the Infected Animal Special.
Animals.
Meow. You know, I think it's really cool when people blog. I mean, blogging is like one of the greatest revolutions of the 21st century. But it's super cool when people blog about their pets. I always enjoy reading those pet blogs, don't you guys?
Hell yeah.
They're really fun. But what I found to be really awesome is when people write blogs in the voice of their pets. You know what people do this? They do this. There's a huge, I just learned there's a huge vast community out there of people who keep a blog for their pet. But, you know, they pretend that it's the pet who wrote the blog itself. Now, how neat is that? Isn't that, it's a little twist on the ordinary, huh?
I used to have a monkey named Cubert, and he did write a blog, but my dad shot him too. He shot him with a shotgun.
This is how fun this is. This is the latest entry from a blogger cat named Timothy Dickens. Timothy Dickens. You can read along at timothydickens.com.
You're going to want to check that out.
You're definitely going to bookmark that one. Here it is. February 8th. Dear blog, I know that you think I'm all cute and cuddly, but just behind my sweet face and furry belly lies a ferocious puma. Sometimes it surfaces, like this morning when I had to steal Bigfoot, who was all boss around here. Look out, or it'll come and get you. Rawr! Now, isn't that fun? Isn't that fun? See how he did that? He wrote it in the first person, as if he wasn't writing about the cat.
Well, it's
and
cute.
like, my cat did this. He says, I
finally found someone more pathetic than me. Jesus.
Yeah.
Isn't that cute? Well, that is just cuter than
I mean, there's a whole vast web ring of these people doing this.
There's 21 comments.
That's the thing, man. That's the more amazing thing. It's not just that people are batshit enough to do this. Is that there's people who comment about.
We don't get 21 comments on Sarge.
I know. I write something up on Sarge where I get maybe 2 or 3 comments. They're like, "You suck."
We blather around for hours about animal porn, and nobody makes it.
I'm doing something very wrong here. You know, I think about what I'm gonna write and all these things.
We should do the whole show as a pet.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Timothy Dickens. Welcome to Infected with Martin Sargent.
I sure do hate Mondays.
Hang on, Friday's coming.
Word for Garfield. I mean, that's essentially what Garfield is. I like lasagna.
That can all be summed up in 3 words. I'll say it again. Cute as fuck.
Here's a couple of the comments on there. And they all come like rapid fire. Like as soon as Timothy Dickens posts his next blog, like everyone's right there. Like they see the RSS feed, they're right there because they got to see what Timothy fucking Dickens said about his cat life. So very good Puma imitation, says Measers. And then Indy Pindy said, "Oh, Timothy, you can be scary. That would have sent me running to my mama if you did that to me." And then Kuka Maria said, "You ain't nothing but a hound dog." And hound dog is bolded and italicized. "Aren't you? Because that sure looks like an Elvis lip if I've ever seen one." See, there's a picture of Timothy Dickens. Isn't that fun?
That's some fun stuff.
That is a lot of fun. And that, my friends, that is the motherfucking beauty of the internet right there, you know? In a nutshell, isn't that? Because no matter what weird shit you get yourself into, like blogging as if you're a cat, or collecting the stickers you get off the pieces of fruit, or watching movies like Pregnant Dog Fuckers, whatever it is you're into, you can find other people just like you to reinforce your idiocy and think. If just for a minute, think for a minute, you're not as batshit as some people in this world say you are.
Is barking mad.
And I think that's pretty great.
It's a wild world out there, and it's all there to see on the internet. It's just like a reflection.
Speaking of wild, check out tonight's first top tech news story on the High-Tech Tech News Ticker. This week we're doing all animal news, but only the very important stories.
And we got a doozy for you here.
Reuters reports that a Tanzanian mother went into hysterics when she found her 6-month-old baby suckling dog's milk.
No.
A local daily reported Thursday. So that means like the baby was sucking from the tit of a dog.
I got that.
That's what that means. For any of you who don't know what the word suckling is, that's what it is.
Or teat, or tit.
Teat, titty.
Titty. Isn't that cute? That's cuter than fuck.
Somebody explain to me how something that happened like in a jungle over there in Africa. There's a baby laying on a mat. It really has no significance, but somehow ends up like the third or fourth reported story on Yahoo. How does that happen?
Who's reporting? Who's the beat reporter?
Who is the Tanzanian beat reporter who has nothing better to report over there about, there's a baby who was laying on a mat and the mother went into hysterics, but the baby doesn't have diarrhea. It's okay. It's all right. There's a fucking drought in Tanzania right now.
There's bird flu.
There's very bad bird flu in Tanzania.
All over the place.
The drought is so bad. There's a famine, so much so that 6-month-old babies are crawling to dogs to suck on their teats. And this is the story that we get? I mean, is this the globalism that the people are protesting against?
I don't know, but I hope so. Because I don't want to hear any more of this filth coming over from Reuters.
You know what? That story was probably banned from being printed in Canada. You know? It probably was.
You know, I wouldn't doubt it.
Well...
Anyway, that was a great story.
It may be a mystery how we got it, but it is a great story. You know what's not a mystery is how the news of Hollywood comes to us. It comes from the great, once thought dead on account of acute liver failure, Hollywood entertainment reporter Johnny O'Banion. It's a little piece he calls View from the Canyon. Johnny?
And welcome to View from the Canyon with Johnny O'Banion. Thank you. This is Johnny O'Banion coming to you live from the tippity top of lovely Laurel Canyon, Los Angeles, California, with all the entertainment news you need to know. Everybody loves animals, and that goes double for celebrities. Dogs, horses, pumas, pandas, even giant jungle apes. Walking around with them, loving them, teaching them to masturbate, and now bango! Eating them! That's right, too hot to print. That's right, the hot gossip here in the canyon. The A-list event isn't the Oscars, it's exotic animal meat parties. The whole town gripped by crazy meat fever. Stars like Misha Barton, Lisa Loeb, and Kanye West slathering their own exotic pets up in sauce and roasting the flesh at celebrity barbecues. Velvet white teeth biting into juicy, fat, giant pandas screaming as they're set upon by axe-wielding bongo beaters like Matthew McConaughey. Too terrible to contemplate. Let's run it down. A-listers and the meat treats they love to eat. Jamie Foxx eating up on wild dingo dogs. Tom Crazy Cruise, wild birds, waterfowl, anything with beaks. J-Lo and Mark Antony, most shocking of all, routinely eating 15 to 20 grizzly bear cubs a week, flying them in from the AK private luxury airplanes. And that is the View from the Canyon. This is Johnny O'Banion. Thanks for listening.
Wow. Pretty wild stuff.
Johnny O'Banion, man. I got to party with him.
He's on top of it, huh?
How come I have to sit over here at this little table when we podcast? I don't like it. I want to sit at the big table.
You want to sit at the big table with me and Joey?
Joey made me sit over. He said there's some damn mic boom echo or some shit.
Maybe
Maybe he put me on a little children's table over in the corner of the room.
He thinks he's the fucking dungeon master. Sitting there with his laptop and all his recording equipment. They're like, you can't see behind the screen here. Gator, roll the 20-sided. See if you pass your saving throw.
Joey has to. He insisted we put up a shower curtain so we can't see him. He sits behind it.
Anyway, we've got to change the batteries in Joey's invisible fence collar. We'll be right back.
Infected by Martin Sargent Special Animal Lovers Edition is brought to you by Mighty Dog. Because there's a mighty spirit waiting to be fed.
Leslie, don't cry. Buttons can smell fear.
Who's crying, motherfucker? You a weird little boy. That dog just ate your mama.
Who are you? You're not my sister. Why are you in my basement?
Cause I'm in your basement, motherfucker, and I'm the one that's in charge till your daddy get home.
Honey, I'm home. Oh, fuck! Fuck! I'm Buttons! Go!
What happened to Daddy?
Looks like Buttons ate your daddy, too. I'm the one that's now in charge of everything, little orphan boy, so you better get used to it.
I want my real sister back.
I'm not really sure what happened there, but Mighty Dog, because there's a mighty spirit waiting to be fed. Oh, fuck. Fuck, no. Buttons down. No. Buttons down.
Infected.
Hey, welcome back to Infected, the special animal edition.
Animal.
You guys enjoying yourselves?
Oh,
It's kind of fun. It's kind of fun when we have a little theme.
It is. I had a hermit crab once named Jimmy. And my dad took him out of his cage and threw him on the floor and stomped on him with his work boot. He was on a bad drunk.
Why?
He did it right in front of me.
Hermit crab, they probably don't feel it. We used to use them for...
I had 2 hamsters too named Gina and Tim, and they had babies. And one night my dad came home and put the whole family of them in the freezer. And they froze solid. And little Tim tried to gnaw his way out, but he didn't get too far. I found him the next morning, and Gina tried to eat her paw off.
Okay, time for another check of the high-tech tech news ticker.
Animal!
Animal edition. This comes from the AFP out of Berlin. 6 gay penguins at a German zoo are still refusing to mate with females of the species flown in from Sweden in 2005. The problem was that the female Humboldt penguins have proven to be too shy in their advances, the director of the zoo in the northern city of Bremerhaven said.
Dieter.
No, you know what? That is not the fucking problem. The problem lies in the fact that the zoo is in Germany. Seriously.
I'm waiting for someone to insert a Brokeback Mountain joke here.
I mean,
We're not going to do it.
That shit would not play at a zoo in Texas. You know what I'm saying? Those penguins would each have like 9 or 10 baby penguins by now, all by different baby mama penguins.
They would, because you know what? Everybody knows that penguins in Texas like to fuck.
Well, not all the gay sex.
Hell no.
No.
They have straight sex, penguins in Texas. And they swim around and they have fucking sex all day.
Now, don't misunderstand me here, though. I really don't want to be misunderstood. Let me be perfectly clear. I am in no way saying that homosexuality is in any way aberrant or unnatural. It's not what I'm saying. Not at all.
No.
I am saying that a bunch of penguins in a zoo in Germany having a circle jerk while like a kindergarten class looks on, that's fucking weird. Well, I don't care who you are. That's weird.
The penguins, they might not be gay. They might just be bored. They're like too cool for it all.
But they brought they're Swedish penguins too. They're probably like the hottest penguins around. If they're anything like humans, you know. Like they're in jail for Christ's sake. Well, they bring in a bunch of hot Swedish chicks, literally.
That movie, The March of the Penguins, it's like they mate for life or something. They walk through.
That's true.
Storm, like they'll walk 100 miles in the Arctic to. It's kind of like Joey. Joey mates for life. But maybe they just don't have. Maybe they. You all right over there?
I was choking on. I don't know what I was choking on. Anyway, it's Germany, man. That's the way it works over there. It's a weird. They're sexually all fucked up. Remember We talked about this on Screwed. This happened when we were doing that show. Remember Armin Muse, that German dude who he put an ad on internet looking for someone who would let him cannibalize them, and then he got like 7 or 8 responses from other Germans being like, "Yeah, please eat me, Armin Muse, please." And he finally decided on the right guy, and he has the guy over, and he cut off his internet date's dick, and he fried it in butter, and the two of them ate it. They sat around the fucking table and they ate the guy's penis, and then Arlen Muse killed the guy and ate him for dessert. That's what they're doing over there in Germany. And then, get this. Then the German band, Rammstein.
Sure I do.
Well, pretty weird in their own right. Pretty deeply weird, aren't they? So they write a song about this guy, this cannibal dude.
Are you saying the Germans are weird?
I am. I'm saying they're sexually strange. So Rammstein writes a song about this Muse character, who, by the way, was only sentenced to 8.5 years in prison for eating a guy's dick and killing him.
It was with his permission.
Okay, he had a permission.
I saw Rammstein play once at an airplane hangar in Plano, Texas. It was fucking wild, man.
Well, Rammstein, they're getting sued by the cannibal.
Are they?
They're getting sued because Rammstein wrote a song about him. Like, dedicated a song, wrote a song about him. So this cannibal is suing him because he says, you didn't have any permission to use my story, and I've already sold the rights to somebody else.
Well, Rammstein, I don't know, man. I saw them play. They have all these big metal gongs and sledgehammers and stuff.
Awesome.
See, it's crazy shit over there. We got Guar, but that is kiddie shit.
That is nothing.
Next to Rammstein and cannibals eating penises fried in butter. So all I'm saying here is, with this kind of shit going on in the background, Rammstein and this cannibal like sauteing a dude's penis and then eating it and together and then killing him. With that going on, why does anyone even raise an eyebrow at a few penguins experimenting?
I don't know.
With each other. I mean, it's like that's what you do in jail anyway. That's basically where
Yeah, I don't know, man. All I know is that Rammstein rocks ass, man.
Yeah,
I saw them out and they bang gongs and wore suspenders, and
They are.
yeah, they're pretty badass.
Yeah, you're right.
Germans are weird though, man. They're just weird people. They got a lot of pent up something or other. They got to let it out somehow. I used to live we had a German exchange student who came over and lived with us for he was only there about 4 days before he just disappeared into the swamps.
I hope your dad didn't fucking kill him too.
My dad killed a lot of things. I don't know. He might have. He disappeared, but people said they see him every now and again. They go out in the swamps and they just see this German guy. He's all half naked and shit. And he's running around. And yeah, his name was
Dita the Swamp Boy.
He's like famous down there in Central Florida. People say they see him all the day driving on the school bus and look out in the field. And see, what would you put to catch a German? Not ham. You'd have to put like I don't know.
A Wiener Schnitzel. So apparently you would put like a sautéed penis, and they'll bite on that pretty quick.
That could be. It's like, yeah, man. I don't know. Weird stuff. I used to have a rat snake named Jimmy. He crawled into a hole in our drywall and he died in there. And then my dad had to chop the wall out with a hatchet. He was so pissed off when he pulled Jimmy out and he cut him up on the kitchen floor with that hatchet.
What the fuck, man? How many of your pets did your dad kill?
Pretty much all of them. I had some finches named Peep and Pop. And my dad stuffed them in the double barrel shotgun. And he shot it off. I'm not kidding you, man. I don't know. I can't. I also had an old alley cat named Peter, but he's okay. I still have him. He was too smart for my dad. My dad was just old mean drunk.
You done? Is that it? Is that all the pets?
You want to hear about my rabbit named Gil?
You can stop.
Sure. No, we gotta go.
No, you don't want to hear about Gil. Martin, tell us a story.
We don't got no time. We gotta go. We've gone way over time here today.
Tell us this one story. Please.
Maybe a special animal edition story?
We have an animal. That story about that bird.
Oh, yeah. You mean Glen.
Yeah, that's the one.
All right. We got time for this little story. Gator, Joey, get up here on my lap, would you?
Sure.
Come on, Joey. Joey, you bony ass motherfucker. All right, here we go. Once upon a time, there was a nerdy little bird. His name was Glen. Glen wasn't like other birds his age. For one thing, Glen absolutely hated hunting for berries. It wasn't just the hassle of flying from bush to bush he hated, but also the taste of vitamin-rich fruit. In fact, Glen wouldn't eat a nice juicy berry even if you placed one in the palm of your hand for him. Rather, Glen preferred to eat the Cheetos and corn chips fat kids dropped in the park when trying to stuff too many into their mouths at once. If you asked him, he'd tweet that his very favorite food was salsa verde Doritos. And unlike the other little birds, Glen was terrible at defecating on picnickers. He tried playing that game with the other post-nestlings in the flock, but couldn't even score a hit, usually just managing to smear black and white liquid turds all over his feathers somehow. That's why the other little birds started calling Glen names like poopy plumes and fecal feathers. Glen hated the other birds and swore he'd show them that he could poop on picnickers with the best of them. Spying a large Latino family enjoying a barbecue, Glen thought he had an easy target. There were dozens of them. But when he swooped in and tried to drop a deuce bomb, a salsa verde Dorito came partially out of his ass, acted like a wind rudder, and caused him to crash into a fountain.
"That's it!"
squawked a humiliated Glen.
"I've had it with this crap! I'm leaving the flock!"
After the fountain incident, Glen started skulking around the seedier areas of the park, where drifters slept and gay dudes hunted for anonymous hookups. He started hanging out with pigeons and ate cigarette butts. It didn't take an ornithologist to know that Glen was heading down the wrong path. But then one day, when Glen was picking through a dumpster with a one-legged pigeon named Draggles, he saw a fat man sleeping on a park bench, a small gray box of some sort sitting on his enormous thigh. Glen couldn't help but fly over, attracted by the shiny reflection of the sun off the strange object's LCD screen. Upon lighting on the man's monstrous thigh, Glen instinctively started pecking at the screen of the Dell Axum X51, using his beak as a stylus. Instantly, a high-res Insane Clown Posse video started playing. The things that came out of the grotesquely painted mouths of those crazy clowns made so much sense to Glen. It was as if they were rapping from a gritty, subversive score composed on Glen's soul. Glen kept pecking at the screen and more amazing things started happening. He looked at porn sites, watched a funny video of a skateboarder getting hit by a dump truck, and even created a MySpace profile. Whereas most birds are born with the instinct to mate and fly south for the winter, Glen was born with an innate knowledge of computing devices. Just then, the Dell Axum X51 started to beep. Someone had sent Glen an IM. "Hey," the message read, "I saw your MySpace profile. I'm into Limp Bizkit too. I live in a tree in a park in Cincinnati. Wanna fly over here and fuck me?" Glen couldn't believe it. As soon as he finished making a map quest, he was gone, so glad to be out of the horrible park in which he had spent his entire life. When Glen got to Cincinnati, the chick turned out to be a lot fatter than she looked in her online profile, but Glen went ahead and fucked her anyway. He had flown a long way after all. When they finished, it was awkward because they really didn't have anything in common outside of Limp Bizkit, so Glen made up some lame excuse and left, and headed back to his home park, where he led a sad, uneventful, and desperate life. The end. Well, thanks for joining us here on Infected Special Animal Edition, everyone. We'll see you at the bar.
At the park. Infected is infected. If you're still listening now, you're infected. I don't give a fuck if you do like animals or if you don't. It's not really part of the equation here. You're just infected. And I don't care if you didn't like Gator's story about his cat named Gil who had his feet chopped off and turned into Lucky Charms. You're infected. Thank you.
I think Button's gone. Do you think maybe we can come out of the basement now?
Hell no. Now go get me an Earth magazine and my Newport.
Infected is written by Martin Sargent, Jay Speiden, and Stewart Engesser. Joseph Claude Jean-Philippe Rabier on controls.
Die, Joey!